Yeah.
Ever wish there was like a cheat sheet for relationships? Like, what does your partner actually want?
Yeah.
Well, today we're going to dive into this article called Beyond Sex, What Men Really Desire from Women.
Okay.
And it's all about finding those deeper needs that I think lead to more happiness
Yeah.
for everybody in the long run.
I think so.
So
Yeah.
what I thought was so interesting about this article was that it kind of goes beyond just the surface assumptions
Right.
and really tries to dig deeper
Yeah.
into what men are looking for
Yeah. Into the psychology of it.
in the psychology of it. So the first thing that really stuck out to me
Okay.
was this idea of generous and praising recognition.
Yeah.
So it's all about making men feel seen and appreciated for who they are.
And feeling valued. Yeah, that's huge.
And feeling valued.
It's so important to a man's psyche to feel like the woman in his life sees him.
And the article quotes William James, the psychologist, who said the deepest principle in human nature is the craving to be appreciated.
Yes, and appreciated for exactly who he is. Not who we want him to be, but who he actually is.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that everybody kind of wants that. Like if someone notices your efforts,
Yeah,
that makes you feel good.
absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
So they actually have this really cool anecdote
Oh, cool.
about Ada Choi,
Okay.
the actress,
Yeah.
and her husband, Max Zhang.
Okay.
And he was just starting his career when she was already like a really big star.
Okay.
And she would constantly praise him, like publicly acknowledging his talent, his potential.
Wow.
And guess what?
What?
He went on to win awards.
Yeah.
Major awards.
Oh, wow.
So you have to think, like, did her support
Yeah.
fuel his success?
It could very well have, because when we give somebody that type of genuine praise and we're acknowledging their strength,
Right.
we celebrate their wins. It's
Oh.
almost like a positive feedback loop that you're creating.
Right. You're fueling their confidence
Exactly.
and their motivation.
Yeah.
So what if we all focused on
Yeah.
like praising the good that we see in our partner?
Yeah.
Do you think that would lead to more happiness?
I think it would lead to more happiness for the person who is giving the praise as well.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
when we're looking for those good things, when we're looking for what we appreciate in our partner, and then we vocalize it, it just shifts our whole perspective and our whole energy in the relationship changes.
I like that. Okay, so the next point that they make
Okay.
is about empathetic understanding.
Okay.
So men face all of these pressures,
Societal pressures
Okay.
to be strong, to not show emotion.
Right, to be stoic.
Right.
So it can be hard for them to open up
Absolutely.
about their struggles.
For sure.
So when you have a partner who really listens and validates their feelings without judging,
It makes them feel safe.
right, it makes them feel safe.
It makes them feel loved unconditionally.
To be vulnerable.
Yeah.
And they actually had this example
Okay.
of men who will stay in their cars for a while
Really?
after work before going inside.
Oh, that's interesting. I've never thought about that. But yeah.
Have you ever done that?
Well, yeah, but I don't think it was ever a conscious, I need to decompress. But I can see how that would be the case for a lot of men.
Yeah. It's like they need that transition
Yeah.
between work
Yeah.
and home life.
Absolutely.
So just saying something like, you've worked hard today,
Mm-hmm.
can really go a long way
Yeah.
to show that you understand
Right.
and appreciate their efforts.
Absolutely. And they are seen, that you see them.
So it's really about being more present
Yeah.
and supportive
Yes.
as a partner.
Yeah. And listening without always trying to fix it.
Right.
Sometimes we, as women, we want to fix everything. And sometimes a man just wants to be heard.
Just to be heard,
Yeah.
to vent,
Yeah.
just to get it out.
Yeah.
And that's enough.
Exactly. It's interesting because they talk about a man's sense of belonging,
Okay.
which is often tied to his sense of purpose.
I like that.
So it's not just about having a place to call home,
Right.
but it's about feeling like you have a meaningful role
Okay.
to play within that home
I see.
in the world.
Right. So it's not just about like bringing home the bacon anymore,
Exactly.
but it's about feeling like
Contributing
valued first
to society,
to
your
right.
family, to
Yeah.
your work, even
Yeah.
to your hobbies.
And what you
Just feeling like you're an active participant
contribute.
in creating a life that you're proud of.
Right. And knowing that your partner sees that
Yes.
and appreciates that,
Absolutely.
it makes you realize that we all crave that,
We do.
like a human need.
It's a human need to feel valued.
Not just a male need.
Yeah.
It's a human need.
Right.
And so when we create that kind of environment
Okay.
in our relationships where both partners feel seen and appreciated.
It lays the foundation for a deep and lasting connection.
So we've talked about recognition,
Mhm.
we've talked about understanding, we've talked about this belonging,
Mhm.
but there's something else that they talk about that I think is really important
What's that?
and sometimes overlooked,
Okay.
is that it's crucial for both partners to cultivate their own happiness.
Yes. Oh my gosh, that is so important
Yeah.
because you can't pour from an empty cup.
Exactly. You have to take care of yourself.
Yes.
You have to nurture your own passions and interests.
Yes.
You have to find things that bring you joy outside of the relationship.
Yeah.
Because when we are happy and fulfilled as individuals,
Yes.
then we bring that to the relationship.
We do. It's like we're responsible for
Oh.
bringing our own sunshine to the
Yes.
party.
I love that. Okay, so how do we do that?
Well, it depends on the person, but it comes down to prioritizing things that make you feel alive.
Okay.
Whether it's pursuing a hobby or spending time in nature or connecting with friends or learning something new,
Mhm.
it's about making time for yourself and the things that light you up.
You know, speaking of finding happiness,
Yeah.
I recently came across this book called Happiness Mantra.
Ah,
It's supposed to be full of tips and exercises for just boosting your well-being.
cool. I'm always looking for resources like that.
And I heard it's 50% off right now.
Wow.
Perfect timing for the new year, right?
Yeah. Totally. Investing in our happiness is one of the best gifts that we can give ourselves in our relationships.
That's so true. Okay, so getting back to the article,
Okay.
we've covered a lot of ground.
Yeah.
Generous recognition, empathetic understanding, fostering that sense of belonging and purpose, and nurturing your own happiness.
Yes.
These are all key ingredients.
They really are.
And you know what's so fascinating is that these principles can be applied to,
All relationships.
not just romantic relationships.
Family relationships.
Yeah,
Friendship.
work relationships.
Mm.
So it's really about bringing that same level of intentionality and care to all your interactions.
Right. It's like this ripple effect of positivity.
Right. And it all starts with us.
It does exactly. By cultivating these qualities within ourselves and our relationships, we contribute to a more loving and harmonious society as a whole.
I love that. Okay, so to kind of wrap up this section,
Yeah.
we've learned some really valuable insights about what men truly desire
We have.
in relationships and how those desires
Yeah.
reflect this universal longing for connection, appreciation, and belonging.
And we've seen how those insights can help us build stronger, happier, more fulfilling relationships with everyone in our lives.
From expressing genuine appreciation,
Yes.
offering empathetic support,
Mm,
nurturing our own individual happiness, and creating that shared sense of purpose.
absolutely.
These principles are like keys
They are.
to unlocking a
But
deeper...
it's connection, and joy.
Yes, and remember, relationships are a continuous journey of growth and understanding.
So the more we invest
Yes.
in learning and applying these insights,
The more rewarding our connections become.
absolutely.
So go out there and create the relationships that you deserve. And hey, maybe check out that Happiness Mantra book.
That sounds like a great idea.
Could be the perfect way to kick off the new year,
Totally.
filled with deeper connections and more joy.
I love it.
So it's like we've been given all these tools for making our relationships better.
Yeah.
And they work for everybody.
Exactly. It's not just for men.
Right. It's really about those human needs that everybody has.
Yeah, like feeling appreciated, feeling understood, belonging.
Yeah.
Those are things we all crave.
Yeah. And when we learn how to recognize those things, not just in our partners, but in ourselves
Mhm.
and everybody around us,
Yes.
it makes such a big difference.
It really does. It creates like a ripple effect.
So for somebody listening who wants to put this into practice,
Okay.
where should they start?
I would say start with just reflecting on your own relationships. How do you already feel appreciated and understood? What are some areas where maybe you could be more intentional
Yeah.
about expressing those feelings to others?
Right.
It's about taking those small everyday moments,
Okay.
turning them into opportunities to strengthen our bonds
I see.
and to show our loved ones how much we care.
So really focusing on those little things.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be these grand gestures.
Okay.
Sometimes the simplest acts of kindness and appreciation have the most profound impact.
Well, I think we've covered a lot today.
We have.
We've learned so much about what really makes relationships work
Yeah,
and how we can all be happier
and more connected.
and more connected in our lives.
This has been a really insightful deep dive.
It has.
And remember, this journey never really ends.
Yeah.
There's always something new to discover
Right.
about ourselves and the people that we love.
So keep exploring, keep connecting, and keep diving deep into what matters most.
Absolutely. So